Hey, Queen, I have a mission for you.
Madam Vice President, you know I would do anything to serve, but I'm about to host the NAACP Image Awards.
But that's why I called. You are the only person who can do this job.
Okay. Well, off top, I can tell you I can get you some fresh Usher sweat, about a pint. Food of the gods. I can get you some extra security. You know they cloned Tyrone, right? Also, I got the hookup on a silk press.
Now that's one assignment I have never misunderstood. I thank you for that. Listen, here's the thing. All I need you to do is remind people about how important this election is coming up in November. And if you can ask people to go to vote.gov to register to vote or to check their registration status, that would mean a lot.
Oh, that's easy. You know I got you.
Thanks, Queen. Have a great show.
Lit, period. Thank you. I'm about to do this. Take care. You be safe.
All right, guys, so I know many of you didn't know, I certainly didn't know until I stumbled across the story, that the NAACP Image Awards were last night, and I think it was like hosted by BET. It was on BET. Okay, I don't watch BET, Black Entertainment Television, so I don't really know, right? I mean, I just stumbled across this, and of course, it was as woke as you can imagine, okay? I mean, you know, at the beginning of this video, you saw the clip of Queen Latifah, who apparently hosted these awards, running Democrat propaganda with Kamala Harris, okay? Full on cringe fest, okay? Because, again, this is how the Democrat Party keeps liberal black women in line, okay? Always appealing to their demands and, most importantly, their narcissism, which is going to be on full display here at this award ceremony, as they're quite literally going to get on their knees and bow to the altar of the liberal black woman, because apparently the liberal black woman is oppressed, okay? Especially the liberal black woman in Hollywood, okay? The black Hollywood actress who have been complaining about equal pay, okay? You guys remember Taraji P. Henson? She took to the air to basically complain that as a multi-million-dollar actress who is worth more than probably $10 million, she is being discriminated against, okay? She is a victim because she's a black woman in Hollywood and she's not getting treated fairly, despite being paid millions of dollars to act.
Y'all know I've been doing this a while, and I've been on productions where I've been the only black person, the only female, and I needed things, and I didn't have anybody I could call. I just had to bite the bullet, and I had to show up every day with grace, and I had to do my job. It's happened more times than you would ever know. So to be in this position, that's why I tell y'all, this is special. This is special. This doesn't happen often. It's the thing about black women. They don't hear our tears. They don't hear our pain. That goes on in Hollywood. It goes on more often than you know. So when you see a black woman show up on this screen, notice she had to work quadruple hard, or whatever the word is, than her counterparts. Know that she's getting paid just a fraction of what her counterparts are getting paid. And we do it with grace each and every time. We show up and give it our all. Please take that into consideration. So thank you for everything you fought for us and stood up for us.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Oh, boo-hoo, poor me. I'm worth tens of millions of dollars and I don't get paid enough because I'm a black woman and we're struggling. Yeah, so again, full-blown propaganda here, okay? And she took that propaganda to the NAACP Image Awards, in which Queen Latifah basically came out and said, hey, everybody's talking about inflation, but the inflation that we're not talking about enough is the lack of inflation for the salaries of black actresses who are so oppressed.
And it's no secret, we are facing some seriously pivotal issues. Everyone's talking about inflation. You know what's not feeling inflation?
Equal pay for black actresses.
Thank you, Taraji, for standing up for all of us. You know what, Taraji, as a matter of fact, if you are a black actress in this room, would you please stand up?
Thank you so much for working so hard and representing for us. Don't sit down. Don't sit down. Everybody else in this whole room, stand up for all of us black actresses who have been representing for us. Support us. Join us. Because it's you who stand next to us every day. We know this. And we want to say thank you. Now you may sit down. Thank you so much. See, we're not alone. We are supported.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? The narcissism is just stunning, right? It really is, okay? This is how narcissistic liberal black women are. Not only must you talk about the lack of inflation for black actresses in their salaries, but you must talk about it on the same level of urgency as inflation that normal, everyday, average people are feeling when it comes to the cost of living going up and wages not going up in the same proportion as the cost of living, at least not until recently, that is, okay? They want you to feel bad for them. They want you to boo-hoo, whine, and cry and to put their sorrows and victimhood in the same category as yours, okay? Even though they make millions of dollars, okay? They're not sticking up for the average black woman actress. Don't let them fool you, okay? Because they're putting somebody like Taraji P. Henson, who, according to some estimates, makes $10 million, right? She has a net worth of $10 million, put it that way. She's not broke, right? She makes a whole lot of money, okay? Considering the fact that I don't think many people know who she is. I don't think half of American households really know who she is, okay? If you went and asked the average American anywhere in this country, hey, do you know Taraji P. Henson? Have you heard of her? I guarantee you probably less than 50% of America have heard of her, okay? I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that she's not a household name. And that's not to say she's not a household name when it comes to black people. She might be. But when it comes to America overall, probably not. But they're putting her as the face of the movement to say, hey, you know, black actresses are underpaid. Okay, we're out here struggling and we got to put in so much work and we get so little in return, even though I'm a multi-million-dollar actress living in Hollywood. In which, you know, part of the reason why they're boohoo whining and complaining is about the amount of money that comes out of their check, okay, in the form of taxes. And it's like, well, you're coming out here and you're promoting Kamala Harris and Democrats while at the same time complaining about how much money that you're paying in taxes when you turn around and you essentially vote for the taxes that you're paying. Again, it's amazing, right? If you want to keep more money in your pocket, one of the easiest ways to do so is to stop voting for Democrats, right? To actually stop promoting the people that are responsible for the policies that are taxing you, okay? That is taking money out of your pocket. But no. These individuals want to promote the people that are partially responsible for them being underpaid and then turn around and want you to feel bad for them and to boohoo, whine, and cry tears of victimhood with them over the fact that, you know, they're not making as many millions as they feel like they deserve, in which, in my opinion, they really don't deserve, because one of the chief examples that Taraji P. Henson uses as an example of her being underpaid, the math ain't mathin', right? In her own words, okay, words that she used to describe her situation and how she's allegedly underpaid. She talks about the difference between the salary that she made and the salary that Brad Pitt made in the 2008 movie, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Now, if you read the headline here, okay, the mainstream liberal media makes it sound like that the pay disparity is just out of control and unbelievable, right? The only explanation for it has to be the racism, sexism, okay? That has to be the explanation for why Taraji P. Henson got paid less than 2% of what Brad Pitt got paid for the movie. But fortunately, on my channel, I like to stick to math. I like to stick to numbers, okay? Because Taraji P. Henson is not being underpaid, okay? This is a myth. Just like the general pay gap conversation is a myth, okay? These people are just as not credible as the WNBA players boohoo, whining, and crying about not getting paid as much as NBA players, despite the fact that the NBA brings in billions of dollars, okay? In the WNBA, they don't even bring in $100 million, really. So again, the pay disparity is explained by the fact that you just don't generate as much revenue as the people that get paid more than you. And that is, in fact, the case with Taraji P. Henson. In this example, what she's talking about, complaining about Brad Pitt making $10 million from this movie, while she only got paid, about $150,000? So I'm going to go ahead and break down the numbers for you guys, okay? Because the numbers will tell you why she got paid less than 2% of Brad Pitt. So check this out. I'm actually going to let you guys see my notes so you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. And these numbers come from the numbers.com, which gives you all the numbers on how much these Holly weirdos actually make. Okay. But when we look at today's numbers, okay, we're going to look at today's numbers, and I'm going to break down today's numbers in terms of why Taraji P. Henson is not worth as much as somebody like Brad Pitt, why she gets paid less than Brad Pitt. Because she doesn't have as much star power. She can't bring as much money in as a Brad Pitt. I mean, the answer is obvious. But then we're going to look at 2008, when the Benjamin Button movie was made, and why she got paid 2% of what Brad Pitt made, or less than 2% of what Brad Pitt made, okay? Because she was quite literally worth less than 2% of Brad Pitt. That's just the honest to God truth. Okay, so let's look at today's numbers, because what they're complaining about is today, okay? As of today, as a lead only, okay, Brad Pitt has been in 34 movies, and on average, he brings in about $150 million per movie as the lead, okay? Now, in total, he's brought in $5 billion, okay? This is worldwide, okay? These are worldwide numbers. Taraji P. Henson, on the other hand, as a leading actress, as a lead only, she brings in about $24 million per movie. She's brought in about $265 million total across 11 movies, okay? So what you can see here is that, well, when you look at Brad Pitt and how much money he brings in per movie, he brings in about 6.19 times more than somebody like Taraji P. Henson, okay, as a leading actor, okay? It is much more likely that he's going to bring in way more money for a movie than she will, okay? That's star power. Now, these next set of numbers is really going to drive home my point here. When you're talking about, as of today, as a part of a leading ensemble, Brad Pitt has done 11 movies. He brings in about $167 million per movie, a total of $1.8 billion, okay, across 11 movies. Taraji P. Henson has done 5 movies, and on average, as a part of a leading ensemble, she brings in about $136 million per movie, and it's total $682 million. Now, what do these numbers tell you, right? When Taraji P. Henson is a part of a leading ensemble, which means that she's just a part of a movie that has a ton of leading actors that share roughly equals amounts of screen time, right? It's just not her. She's just not the leading actress, okay? She's not the actual star. She's just a part of a group of stars. The movie brings in significantly more. But when it's just her, on the other hand, when she's in the movie, and she's not a part of a leading ensemble, when she's the star of the show, she's only bringing in $24 million per movie. So Taraji P. Henson, as a part of a leading ensemble, brings in about 5.6 times more than she does when she's a leading actress. Well, what does that tell you? What that tells you is that Taraji P. Henson is not carrying the movies when she's a part of a leading ensemble. That's what that tells you. It tells you that everybody else around her is actually really bringing in the money. They're the stars. She's not. That doesn't mean that she doesn't have any worth. It just means that compared to somebody like Brad Pitt, for example, when he's a part of a leading ensemble, he brings in about $167 million per movie. When he's the lead only, he brings in about $149 per movie. So he brings in roughly about an equal amount, whether he's leading or part of a leading ensemble. So what does that tell you? That tells you that he's just a star, right? Regardless, he's pulling his weight. Whether that be in a leading role where it's just mainly him, he has most of the screen time, versus when he's sharing screen time with other actors, he's still going to be pulling in the money. That means that he's an actual star, right? He's actually really bringing in the money. Taraji P. Henson is not. This is why you don't get paid as much as a Brad Pitt. This is why you don't get paid as much as other actors who have bought in more money. It's really that simple. It has nothing to do with racism. It has nothing to do with sexism. Nothing to do with that. Now, let's go to 2008. Okay. Now, the 2008 numbers are going to be much simpler, but I don't need to actually do all the math or the numbers for you guys to understand why Taraji P. Henson got paid less than 2% of Brad Pitt. Because Brad Pitt, at the time, 2008, before Benjamin Button was made, he had done 30 movies and 26 leading or leading ensemble roles. And at this point, he had bought in billions at the worldwide box office. Okay, so he's an established actor at this point. Okay, he's a star at this point in his career. Now, at this point, 2008, in Taraji P. Henson's career, she had only 6 supporting roles from 2000 until Benjamin Button. She was not a lead actress in Benjamin Button. She was a supporting actress. And on top of that, as a supporting actress, she had only bought in about $350 million at that point total in regards to the box office numbers that the films that she had been a supporting actress had brought in. So none of those movies, none of those numbers are there because of her per se, because she motivated people to come to the box office because nobody knew who the hell she was, right? So she's basically unknown at this point, okay? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, when you're comparing yourself to somebody like Brad Pitt, who as a leading actor or a part of a leading ensemble had bought in billions at that point. Taraji P. Henson didn't get her first leading role until 2009 in the movie Not Easily Broken, and that bought in a measly $11 million at the worldwide box office in her first leading role. Again, compared to somebody like Brad Pitt, who before Benjamin Button had bought in billions as a leading actor. So quite literally, Taraji P. Henson, based off the numbers, was worth less than 2% of Brad Pitt. This is why you got paid less than 2% of Brad Pitt, because you quite literally were worth less than 2%. You were unknown. You were a nobody. But she uses this as an example of, hey, black women, this is why we're not getting paid enough. The white man's getting paid more than me. The pay disparity. And it's like, no, you're just delusional. You're delusional. You don't even know your own worth. You don't understand how this works. You're paid what you're worth. If you can bring people to the movies, if you can get people out to watch a movie, you can bring in the money, then you're going to get paid top dollar. That's how capitalism works. Okay? That's how capitalism works. If you can't bring in the money, if you don't have the star power, then you're not going to get paid as much. But even still, you're still getting paid millions. So don't get on national television and try to lecture America on how we're not talking about how black actresses are paid enough when you ain't worth what you're asking for. You're not Brad Pitt. You're not Tom Cruise. You're not Samuel L. Jackson. You're not worth any of these people that you're trying to compare yourself to. You're not underpaid. You're paid exactly what you're worth. Hell, you might be overpaid. Let's keep it 100. You might be overpaid. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of these people always trying to go on national television and try to make it seem like they're victims, like their lives are so hard. I'm underpaid. You're not underpaid. You're not. You're going to award ceremonies in Hollywood. You're living in mansions in the hills. You ain't worried about inflation. Inflation ain't affecting you like that. If anything, inflation is benefiting you. Because you're rich, which means that you can easily accumulate assets that do what? Inflate. But yet you're trying to lecture people who are actually experiencing inflation, who actually are struggling to get by, about why we don't talk enough about black actresses, multi-million-dollar black actresses not getting paid enough. When you're not worth what you're asking for, it's ridiculous. The narcissism of these people kill me. It really does. Golly, man. You can't please these people. It doesn't matter how much you give these people. They're always going to be victims no matter what. But what they won't do, since they are so underpaid, how about you start your own Hollywood and pay yourself? If you can bring in the money like that, if you got so much star power, go to Tyler Perry route. Go to Tyler Perry route. Otherwise, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And the worst part about all this is the enablers. Is all the simps that stood up for these women and their bullshit during the award ceremony. Right? Because all you're doing is that you're just capitulating to the nonsense. Okay? You're confirming their warped worldview that they are somehow victims. right? And they're clapping like seals. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're underpaid. You're a victim. Right? This is what they do. They just stood up, didn't even question it. Stand up for black women being underpaid. And they just do it. They just do it. Again, it blows my mind. It's so frustrating, man. These people get on my last nerves. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. These professional, rich, pampered victims. While everybody else in this country is actually suffering from inflation. You want people to worry about multi-million-dollar black actresses not being paid enough when they don't bring in that much money? They're not that good. They're not that well known. But you're mad because the white man is making more than you are? This is ludicrous. Delusional. Nonsensical. Right? And I can't believe that this is what they're doing. This is what they're putting on national television. It really blows my mind. It's so disrespectful to the average everyday American. It really is. But these people don't give a damn. They're living in their own bubble. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.